very good morning from Ibiza town. Me and Cindy just came to get our breakfast, which is an oakberry acai bowl. We have acai, banana, strawberry, peanut butter, chia pudding, premium granola, keto granola, and honey. And I've literally been addicted to these, been having them every day. Today's video, me and Cindy are going to walk around the old town and we're going to tell you about the costs and the prices of living in Ibiza. But first, we're going to eat this. Do you want some? Okay, so let's get into the interesting part of the video, which is why you're probably watching. By the way, it's middle of July, it's extremely hot, 33 degrees. So that's why I've took my t-shirt off, because it was literally just completely soaking wet through. Ibiza, in my opinion, is one of the most expensive places in the world to live, along with like Mykonos, Saint-Tropez, all of those high-end party crazy places. So I'm gonna tell you what me and Cindy spend together every single day as a couple, our monthly outgoings, our yearly outgoings, and how you can learn to budget. Well, me and Cindy still haven't really got the hang of that yet. We do overspend quite a bit, but how you can budget and how you can live more affordably in Ibiza if you want. Okay, so as you can see, we have many boats going in and out, most likely from Formentera, and that's one of my favorite things to do when you're in Ibiza, is take a day trip to Formentera. We've done it in the last two videos, both by private boats. If you want to take a private boat, you can take up to 10 people on there. It's going to cost you, peak season right now, probably around 2,500 euros to around 3,000 euros, but you can take 10 people on, so the cost is split. Then you'll have to pay for fuel on top of that, which again, depending on the size of the boat, might be 200 or 300 euros. But if you don't want to do that, you want to do something a little bit cheaper, which we've also done this season, is take the ferry. This ferry is 25 euros each way, so 50 euros in total, and I highly recommend it. Super fast ferry, 30 minutes. But another thing to remember when you get to Formentera is you need to pay for lunch, dinner, drinks. If you want to get around on a bicycle or a moped or whatever, moped's going to be 30 euros, a bicycle is going to be 15, and lunch, dinner, all of that stuff, probably around 50 or 60 euros per person for the day. So Formentera, that's the price of it. Highly recommend it. Don't miss out. Okay, so the next thing that is going to cost you money is, of course, travel around Ibiza. Taxi, buses, mopeds, cars, whatever it is, it's going to cost you money, okay? So as you guys know, I drove my car over from the UK and it's in the garage for like the 4th time. So me and Cindy today took a moped into the city. It's 30 euros for 24 hours and you have to pay 150 deposit on that. If you take the moped for a little bit longer, you'll get a better price, of course. The bus, you can go into Playa d'Embossa, you can go to the airport, you can go pretty much anywhere in the bus for 2 euros. The bus runs every 15 minutes. Me and Cindy got the bus yesterday to the gym. It's really, really good, the bus, to be honest. I'm impressed. The next thing you can do is rent a car from the airport. That's it's the best place to get the best price. But again, peak season, any car is going to cost you around 100 euros a day. It's very, very expensive to rent a car peak season. And in the winter, you can rent a car for as little as 10 euros a day. So that's quite nice to know. Taxis, super expensive. I hate paying for taxis. It's my most hated thing in the whole world. I'd rather walk, run, or get the bus than pay for a taxi. This is the type of guy I am. And also the taxis are very few and far between. The taxi queue right now in the city is absolutely massive because there's just not enough taxis for people. What Cindy's saying is the restaurants in Ibiza, there are many, many luxury restaurants. Very, very good food, like some of the best food in the entire world, but it's going to cost you a high price. So Cindy's taking us now somewhere for lunch, somewhere either like Latina style food, homemade food. They normally have a set menu, 10 or 12 euros for 3 courses.
Yes.
It's very good, healthy, lots of vitamins, Cindy says.
Vitamina.
I've been getting into Latina food because obviously Cindy's from Venezuela and she likes to eat from her home country, so.
Yes, it's sometimes I'm boring everything.
Posh,
weekend.
fancy restaurants,
Yes,
it's true.
Similar on the weekend, again the restaurant, popularity or
Exactly.
price, expensive.
Gets boring.
Yes. This is a restaurant very, very old in Ibiza because it's the name Spain. Es el restaurante más caro de Ibiza. Bueno, viejo de Ibiza. Este es el año de la foto. Y esto es una sopa de Cáceres. Cáceres es un espacio de un pueblito muy pequeño de España donde la comida es esta, natural. Tenemos gazpacho que combinas pimentón, cebolla. Es una sopa súper fría de tomate para el calor en verano y un poquito de pan tostado. Luego está las de alubina, que es un concentrado, wow, está muy caliente, pero es un concentrado de verduras, de caraota blanca y de proteína.
Me and Cindy just had a 3-course meal, so starter, main course, postre, dessert in Spanish. For 14 euros. 14 euros for a 3-course meal, and it was absolutely delicious, home cooked, just delicious.
Y menu different of fish.
Yeah, every day the menu changes, so you've got 3 options for starter, 3 options for main course, and then a couple of options for dessert. But 14 euros per person, unbelievable. Some of the higher end restaurants around here, you can't even get a starter for 14 euros, and for a main course it could be up to 35 euros or even more. So if you can find little places like that, Cindy's very good at finding them. You can eat the best food for a very good price. So highly recommend looking out for places. It's called a menu of the day.
Yes.
And it's
muy, muy saludable. Te voy a probar. The last time here, you and me,
wow.
the show and the street.
Yeah, the last time we were here there was like street performers playing along the street. Right now, it's very empty.
It's today.
Too much hot.
Exactly.
It's 37 degrees today, the hottest day it's been so far. Okay, so whilst we're just chilling here, having a beer, might as well talk more about the cost of food and eating. So, if me and Cindy go to Mercadona and do a food shop, it costs us normally around 100 euros. That lasts us probably 3 days. We're not really the best at shopping efficiently. If you go to another supermarket called Hypercentro, I think it's called, that's like 150, 160 for food because it's just kind of more like brands and stuff like that. Mercadona is definitely more affordable. And so, if you're eating in the house, that's good. Me and Cindy have been cooking a lot more than, especially what we did last year. When me and Cindy first met, and when I was with Jake and Joel, we didn't want to cook in the house. So when you eat on the street every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a couple of beers, it's absolute minimum 100 euros per person. So me and Cindy together, if we're out enjoying all day, which we do every Friday or Saturday. Now we eat in the house during the week, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday we eat on the street. Could be 100 euros per person every time, but you're gonna get some nice stuff for that, so it's worth it. What do you want to tell them?
Our house and exactly on the point, close, muy close. This is a street. Here in the Ushuaia High, many restaurants.
We're on the beach. We're a 1-minute walk from Ushuaia. We're a 1-minute walk from High. We have various bars and restaurants, and we're in a very prime location in Playa de Bossa. So we're very lucky, or we could be very unlucky because the temptation every single day just to quickly walk to Ushuaia or High or to pop in to see a few friends is honestly, it's a big distraction. So best location ever, but also worst location ever. And now where we're gonna go?
I'm getting out my place favorite. Empty. It's nice because empty sometimes mucha gente. Hola.
Wow.
Muy cute.
This one, how much is this one?
350.
How much is this one?
4.
Nice. Gracias. The best pizza in Ibiza.
Thank you.
Okay guys, so we're here with Big Frankie. How are you?
Pretty good.
Ibiza veteran. And whereabouts in the UK are you from?
From originally Lake District.
Nice. Very nice. So not too far away from me. And how long have you been in Ibiza for?
6 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
You like it?
Love it. I love it. Came for 1 week, never left.
Nice. Classic. And he's literally telling me the craziest story ever, right? He used to live over here where this turret is. And Nirvana Beach Gym is over here. And he used to swim from his house to Nirvana
every morning. I think this is what made me want to stay, was like first like month we were living in this beach house, come straight out on the beach every morning, put your stuff in a little plastic bag, tie it up, swim over to the gym, train, swim back. It was like,
That's the best life ever.
coming from the lakes, it's like, yeah, it's a million miles away.
So, Frankie's gonna join me. He's been getting into running a little bit, running to the gym, 2 or 3K. I'm gonna go hit a 5K. Like I said earlier in the video, it's the hottest day of the year so far, 37 degrees.
Yeah.
But we'll take it easy. And Frankie also does a bit of boxing, bit of coaching. So I would like to get into that just because I like to try things. I like to try new things, and it's something that I have no experience at whatsoever. So we're gonna make a lot of videos together, make some content together, go for runs, and enjoy the summer.
Let's go.
Love it.
You know, I buy these. Do these just come to you?
Yeah.
Like,
You can take a pic of something after the run. I'll give you some hydration. This here, it's electrolytes.
Literally like a kid in a candy store. I've never even seen some of these flavours.
Yeah, so
Wow.
welcome to the store. The boys are off. Sick.
I can't stop flying. I can't tell how much I've missed these 2 years. 2 years of running.
And now you're back.
Now I'm back.
Right, so just as we were showing you in the house, we're now at Frankie's old house next to the turret. The memories. Okay guys, so we're halfway through. It's absolutely boiling. We even did a little hike up to the tower, and now we've got 2.5k back home. But wow, what an amazing run. At this time of day, it's the best. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I've got them endorphins again. It's fantastic.
That's what I love to hear.
Buzzing.
Love to hear that. We're gonna do, me and Frankie, start picking it up, start doing some bigger, longer runs. And hopefully I can get fit again, ready for my ultra marathon. 4.5 kilometers in, guys. Frankie has absolutely smashed his first one back.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm finishing you now.
You got a sprint finish in you?
Let's go.
Fuck, not 500 meter sprint finish, I hope.
Is it 500 meters?
I'm dying, yeah.
Oh,
Smashed it. First 5k in how long?
2.5 years.
Nice.
5 for 5k.
Literally unbelievable.
2 years without running.
Well, you're back now.
I'm back.
Well done, Frankie.
Thank you,
Good job, bro.
brother. Nice.
Frankie's first time trying Ghost Hydration. This is lemon flavor. Good?
That's good, yeah.
4 scoops, 2 for you, 2 for me.
That's electrolytes.
Yeah.
It's not a slice.
It's nice.
It just tastes nice, that's why. Yeah. That's what's weird. My electrolytes taste like crap, mate.
Yeah.
It's like drinking seawater. This is like,
Really good.
yeah, it's like drinking pop.
Right, so me and Mike have just came to Passion for a protein shake. Do you want to tell them the price of the protein shake?
€14.50.
€14.50 for a protein shake.
Didn't used to be like that.
It's literally insane. To be honest, for me, that's just not a vibe. So for me, I'm not going to be having one of their protein shakes. I will not spend €15 on a protein shake. But Mike will.
My outfits. What is it? Right? Malaga. Marbella.
Just hopped out the bay back.
Oh,
Where are you going?
where are we going?
Going to Zuma, guys.
So, earlier in the day, we did a budget lunch, and now we're going to the least budget place possible.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Uncle Mike, because it's my birthday.
That's correct. That's correct. It's a week early.
Wow.
Mike first. Okay, guys. So
You can get 1 piece of sushi, 1 piece, 1 roll, 1 piece, €21. And also, if you want the tasting menu, €350 per person. I mean, you've got caviar, €70. You've got really good caviar, €240. King crab leg with ponzu, €94. Australian Wagyu Tomahawk, 410 euros.
Caviar.
Caviars, 240.
400 euros for a steak. That's quite a lot.
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
First, you're going to tell your audience exactly what each roll is.
Okay guys, so we have salmon avocado, we have spicy yellowtail, we have spicy tuna, we have soft shell crab, we have black cod croquettes.
That's very good. You should be a waiter. Wow, big gooey ball of happiness, that one.
Spicy tuna, all-time classic. Oh. Bueno. Okay, so what do we have here?
The impeccable miso black cod.
He's happy about it, give it a try.
Give
Actually,
it a try.
wait, try the corn first.
I feel like the corn is one that I should get involved with first.
Looks good to me.
Covered in some kind of sauce. Oh. How to make it not healthy. The expectation's very high, obviously. And the thing is, I'm a fan of black cod, but a lot of places I go to, it's always a bit of a letdown. Like very few places where I'm like, that was an elite black cod. One of the most important things is the sauce. And that is on point. So, a little bit of a dip, or just drop it. It's very good.
It's elite.
Oh, so soft. Elite black cod material.
Soft and melty.
Soft and melty and gooey.
What's wrong?
Mucho picante.
Mucho picante.
Wow. It's lemon con spicy. I hate you. But I like it.
Ready? Baby chicken, here we go. Oh.
Yeah, Felix. ¿Es dulce o salado?
Muchas lo calorio. That's not even chicken. Like, that's too good to be chicken.
It's like... No.
It's a chicken con the sauce de miso.
Sí.
Es a similar sauce de bacalao.
Black cod. The black cod.
Pero en chicken.
Asian.
Está rica.
Not too shabby. It's a true fair one.
Okay, so overall rating of Zuma out of 10.
It's up there.
I would give it 9.5.
Yeah.
Best restaurant that I've been to in Ibiza.
Food is on point, the ambience is on point. It's got nice views at Old Town.
Music was very good.
Yeah, it's good.
Company was good.
Immaculate.
What do you think, Sammy?
I like it. It's good. Similar to Madrid, the Suma.
Similar to Madrid.
Better than Madrid.
Better than Madrid.
Why the Suma?
No, better than
You
Madrid.
know,
Better than
the
Dubai.
spends in the night, it cheap the day. And Ibiza.
Okay guys, so good morning. We're up actually early today. Me and Cindy were up from 9 o'clock, so that's a good start.
Yes.
And I'm here with Paddy Ann, who I've been meeting over the last few months, not on the side of Cindy. But she's helped me organize my visa because, as you guys know, I've been living here for a little while now, and there's a new visa that's came into place, which is called the Nomad visa.
Yeah.
So Paddy Ann's been helping me try and organize all of that stuff, and many of you ask me every single day, Louis, what's the situation? I want to move to Spain, I want to live in Ibiza like you, blah, blah, blah. So, Paddy Ann knows all the ins and outs. It's her job. Her Instagram is Next Stop Ibiza. I'll put all of her details down below in the description so you can get a hold of her, get in contact with her. And Someone I met the other day in Formentera told me Padian never fails.
No pressure.
So, Padian, if you give yourself a little introduction.
Hi guys, so I'm Padian. I own Next Stop Ibiza, which is a company here on the island that helps people relocate. I'm particularly well known in Ibiza, I guess, for all the immigration stuff, Brexit, and now, yeah, we're extremely busy at the minute with all this digital nomad visa, which is the new visa that has come out. The visa that Louis is hoping to get as well.
Yeah, so the ins and outs are very kind of specific. I could have made a video on this on my own, but I'm going to be no help to you. I can only tell you what it is, whereas Padian can actually tell you the exact specifics and then also help you kind of get it going and start kind of applying for it.
Yeah, I think the thing with these visas are, this particular new visa is making everyone's lives a lot easier. It's specifically meant for digital nomads, which in the last few years since COVID, I've seen more and more of these people coming to Ibiza. It's very specific in that you need to earn around 30,000 euros per year. You're not allowed to have criminal records. You need to get a series of like social security documents depending on where you come from. You have to apply for things in the UK. A lot of these people I work with are from the UK. You have to get things from there. What else? You have to show that you've been working for either self-employed or for the company that you work for more than 3 months, and the company has been in existence for over a year.
So I think for people like me who are kind of in my situation, I don't like to call myself an influencer, but normally we would get like contracts from brands or sponsorships monthly.
Yeah.
So that, like, not monthly but yearly, so that we get paid almost like a salary each month from these brands. So again, I think, what did you say the amount was? 30,000?
More or less.
So around like just over 2k a month, which I think most people.
Euros.
2k euros.
Yeah.
Okay. And that has to be from a brand or a company outside of Spain.
Yeah, it can also be various. It depends. The thing with these visas are, they're quite, let's say, involved. You know, they're very much case specific. But yeah, when I'm an expert in all of this sort of legalities and stuff, and when you employ someone to help you, they'll be able to guide you exactly. But realistically, yes, you need to make just under 30 grand a year, and it can be from various sources of income. The only thing about this particular visa is you're not allowed to earn more than 20% of your income from Spain.
Okay.
So you couldn't come here and work
Okay.
technically in Spain.
Okay, so that's why it's called a digital nomad, because your income should be coming from somewhere outside of Spain.
Exactly.
And then you're coming into Spain to spend it.
Yes.
And can you remember how much tax you pay when you have the nomad visa?
Well, again, this depends on your individual circumstances.
Okay.
Some people, if you're self-employed, you have to sign up for things here. There's all different sorts of legalities and loopholes and stuff with this. So it's hard to inform people generally. It's very much case specific.
Okay. And another thing you said, if once the application is in process, if they don't get to it by a certain time, it gets automatically approved. Is that still true or no?
Yeah, so there's something in Spain called administrative silence. Obviously, people that are familiar with how things work here, things are often slow. It's very mañana mentality. With this particular visa, if you apply, so you can either apply from, let's say, a lot of my customers are from the UK, you can apply from the UK and the visa is granted for 1 year. Whereas if you come to Spain on your 90 days and apply from here, the visa is issued for 3 years.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes, and so say you come here, you move here tomorrow, we send off all your paperwork.
Yeah.
The visa is then, it's granted for 3 years, so you don't have to show any more paperwork for 3 years, which is why most people are choosing to come to Spain and then apply for it.
Okay, so if you have all of the kind of requirements in place, I think you've got a pretty good chance of getting it.
Yes.
So, Padian, all of our stuff will be in the description.
Yes.
Make sure you say Louis sent you. Make sure you say that you watched this video. But for example, if someone isn't a digital nomad, we already know this, it's very difficult pretty much to get a visa.
The thing is, there are many visas and they're all, again, case specific. You know, there's the golden visa, which is generally speaking for wealthy individuals who usually buy property or invest in Spain a significant amount. There's also a non-lucrative visa, but obviously, as the name suggests, you can't work on that particular visa.
Yeah, and then the option is which we also don't know, is if you lived in Spain before Brexit.
That one's getting more and more difficult because there are not so many people around. There are some, there are not so many people here around now still in an irregular situation.
Okay, so it's difficult, but if you're a digital nomad, you stand a pretty good chance. Anything else?
I don't know. I guess what we offer, next up we offer a clarity call service as well, which is generally a good idea for people because people often don't know. You know, it's quite a specialist topic to help people sort of guide.
So they can tell people their current situation to you, and you can basically tell them, well,
Yes.
this is the best option, or you can try this, or we can do this.
because I generally know what options are available to people,
Okay.
if any.
The other option is I could marry Cindy.
You could marry Cindy as well.
No, I'm joking. I think that pretty much covers everything. If you do have any questions, of course, comment down below, message Paddy Ann, get on a call, and she'll get you sorted out. So, Paddy Ann, how long have you lived in Ibiza for?
I came to Ibiza to do my first season in 2001, and I've more or less been here ever since. I came to do my last season in 2008, and I never left after that. I've been here all year since then.
Wow, very nice.
So
And it's funny,
a while.
Paddy Ann's actually from a very, almost the same place as Joel, aren't you?
Yeah,
in Northern Ireland, so like,
Cookstown, yeah.
Cookstown. So Joel, my best friend, they're both from the same place, so that's also quite nice. And so, what do you think are the pros and cons of living in Spain and Ibiza? I'm going to do a separate video on this because I've kind of experienced it all over the last 2 years or however long.
Yeah.
4 years I've actually been here, coming with Mike. So, what are your pros and cons?
Pros and cons. I think probably the biggest pro for me about living in Ibiza is the community, the people that you meet. That's also a little bit of a double-edged sword as well.
Everyone knows everyone. Well,
which is good sometimes, and then sometimes it's not great.
yeah, so just behave yourself, because if you don't behave yourself, people will talk about you and it'll spread around very fast.
No secrets in Ibiza.
Because the island's big, but everyone's either in here or in San Antonio. There's no one in the north of the island. There's not really much going on there.
Well, I think the thing is when you take away all the tourists, the bare bones of Ibiza is like a village,
Yeah,
which has it has pros and cons.
which I think is really, really nice in the
Yeah.
winter for
Yeah.
people. For me, living here in the winter is honestly, I prefer it to the summer.
Me too, 100%. Like, and I've been here, so long. I don't, go out as much as I used to and stuff like that. I appreciate the nature, the nice, relaxed lifestyle.
Is there any cons?
Cons, I think, of course there are cons. I think there are cons living anywhere. I think probably is the fact it takes so long to do anything here.
Yes.
Again, there's this very mañana attitude. If you've got a problem with your car, you have to do any formalities. It's literally,
Yeah. My car's broke again, and luckily I'm very close friends with the man in the Land Rover garage, but he told me if I wasn't his friend, it would be September until I get my car fixed, which is over a month away.
Well, it took me 4 months to get my car fixed in winter when it's not even busy.
So yeah, and like for example, many things in the winter in Ibiza just close down.
Yeah.
They just don't open.
I think that's a pro though.
Do you think?
Yeah, for me.
Well, so there's many pros and cons. Any more pros? For me, there's so many more pros than cons to living here. I don't really care about the cons. Like my friends come over and say, oh, the service is slow, or it's too hot, or stuff like that. Whereas for me, that just doesn't bother me anymore at all.
It doesn't bother me. Obviously, the reason I've been here for almost 20 years is because I think there are more pros than cons, I think it's a nice lifestyle, and we're more outside. People in the UK seem to spend a lot of time indoors watching TV. That doesn't happen here. This is normal life.
And also people finish work and they go to the beach.
Yeah.
Whereas people finish work at home and they rush home in rush hour traffic to go and sit in the house and watch TV.
Exactly.
Whereas everyone's just so much more social here. Like people are on the streets until 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like
And this commuting thing.
Yeah.
Like at home it's normal for people to commute for an hour.
Whereas us for pretty much anywhere, especially in the winter, 15 minutes.
Yeah, if even, traffic queues don't really exist.
So many pros, very, very little cons, and even the cons are just kind of, if you want to be picky.
Yeah.
To finish up, Paddy Ann, do you have any advice for people moving to Spain? So maybe they do get accepted in the visa, what should they be aware of? Like, what do they need to take care of? Stuff like that.
Well, there are several things. I think firstly, plan when you move. Basically, it's almost near on impossible, for example, to move to Ibiza in full-on summer and get an annual rental.
Yeah.
I think that's probably good advice when you move. I really recommend people seek advice on the visa process. People think they can do it by themselves. and they often make mistakes, which means that they can't move, which means they lose deposits, and there's a whole rolling on.
And they lose their chance.
Exactly, so it makes life difficult. And also when finding properties, for example, on Ibiza, just be careful who you work with. Try and use reputable agencies, ask around, get recommendations on Facebook.
You can also help with that.
I can help with that. I know my own name's highly featured on Facebook, so just be really careful, because unfortunately, while Ibiza is great, you know, not everyone is so transparent here.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, because I've had 2 clients already who came from America, booked Airbnbs, and it was a scam.
Yeah.
So they got hit, luckily they flew to Madrid and Airbnb cancelled, so they had 1 day, and luckily I was able to help them. But again, me or Paddy Ann can definitely help with that type of stuff. There is absolutely no chance you will find, as Paddy Ann said, there is no chance you'll find somewhere to live if you rock up now.
No.
Impossible. Literally impossible.
So it is really good, you know, to really think all these things through. The thing about Ibiza is, which is, we've just said, it's all mostly pros. But there are certain little peculiarities that you can't fathom until you're here.
Exactly.
Which could end up costing people a lot of money ultimately, I
Of
think.
course.
Just try and look after
Again,
that.
we're both here to help, so any questions,
Yeah.
I'll put all of Paddy Ann's information at the bottom. And thank you for helping me. Thank you for...
Thank you.
Paddy Ann's literally like, not... She's not old enough to be my mum. She's very young, but she's... whenever I have a small problem, or she's always here to help me, which I really, really appreciate.
I'm a fixer, you know, I fix things for a lot of people.
Exactly. So I really, really appreciate it. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Louis.
Perfect.